Welcome to the Horror Interview Show. I'm Skullface. Today I'm interviewing Mary Patel-Gallagher about directing and writing Holistay. What inspired you to create Holistay?
Well, I wanted to do a good ghost story, and I wanted to have some interesting characters in a small setting. And I was thinking about how would it be if two couples who didn't know each other double booked a vacation house, and then we could have strange things happen. So I started with that idea and then started to think about what's going to happen in this house and uh, who's responsible for what's happening in this house. So I wrote that script in about 8 weeks, and I had already cast it in my head. And then I went and I notified the actors with the script, and they thought it was great. And there it is. And it comes out tomorrow on Amazon.
What were the main challenges of creating such a movie?
Challenges was budget, finding, working within your budget, and location, having one house. A lot of the locations were restricted with how long you could be in there, and some people were living in their house half the time, and they had to be out at certain times. So I just shot it in my house. This way I could control the environment. So that was a challenge. Also finding local crew. I'm in Las Vegas. I shot in Las Vegas, and finding a Las Vegas crew was very challenging. Because a lot of crew, they live in California or Texas or New York. So fortunately, I found a great crew local. So I think those were probably the most challenges I had.
Do you like directing and what do you like about it?
I like directing. I like writing. I like directing what I write. Um, Directing is not as complicated as I thought. When you have good actors who know their characters, it's very easy to go through with them, and they become the characters that you want, and they don't need a lot of direction. I think the only challenge with directing that I had was the next time I'm going to hire an assistant director to help with logistics. For example, getting everyone to the set on time or scheduling. That's a lot to juggle as a director. So I think having an AD with you, assistant director, is important. Even if it is a small production, I had 6 characters, so which I thought I could manage. But again, I think next time I'll have an AD with me and make things smoother.
What are the main challenges of being a director?
Challenges. I don't think there's a lot of challenges. It's, you have to, the actors and directors have to respect each other. And if an actor says that they feel their character would do something this way, or say this line, or change something, I think I allow that. I think that's good. That the character can, the actor becomes the character and he sees what his character is going to be doing. More so than I might say as a director, because a good actor will put themselves in that character and be that person. So I appreciate that, and that works. But directing is an interesting endeavor, because sometimes people think, oh, you're the director, has so much work. It's more about, it's not so much on the set as it is the groundwork leading up to the scenes, getting the scenes organized and getting the production up and running, which is, a director is part of that, even though that's more producing. But I think once you're on set, it's pretty easy to go through. I didn't see a lot of challenges, but again, it's my first feature. So I don't know. I could have challenges in the future on other directing endeavors. I mean, Holistay is a trilogy. So there's a Holistay 2 and a Holistay 3.
Do you have a favorite moment from the movie?
Uh, yes, the ending, which I can't reveal because it's the whole, would be a would be a big giveaway.
What was the most challenging aspect of writing a horror movie?
Making it believable, making it interesting. Horror is probably similar to writing comedy in the sense that it's harder to make people laugh than it is cry. So in horror, you have to make people scared, right? There has to be some tension element, surprise element. So that's probably the most challenging, is that anticipation of what's going to happen, or the fact that it's unbelievable, and why are these people doing this, and how can they do this, and what is this, and is this real, is it not real? So it's probably challenging in the sense, very challenging in the sense, making people believe in the supernatural, or things that are not of this world, so to speak. That's probably the most difficult in a horror script.
Who are your favorite horror writers and directors?
Alfred Hitchcock, M. Night Shyamalan, John Carpenter. Definitely John Carpenter. Yeah, I think Alfred Hitchcock was one of the best. He all of his movies were very slow burns, and that's what mine is, a slow burn. It's not throwing things at you right and left so much where the audience becomes desensitized. It's sort of leads up to the very end, and that's how I wrote the script. Not to say that a lot of action all at once. Some people like that. I think you can get desensitized. So slow burn, slow boilers, like Hitchcock and like Shyamalan. John Carpenter had a little more action in Halloween 1 and 2. I liked in terms of the character, the Michael Myers character coming out, but it wasn't so much all the time. It built tension back and forth. So I would say those three writer directors are probably my favorites.
How did you get into creating screen productions?
I was a journalist, uh, political journalist for a long time, and I was producing political debates for Comcast. And the newspaper business changed dramatically. So when I got downsized and then my paper was sold, I decided to get into film. I had done a documentary, produced it, directed it. It was on Netflix, came out 2008, called Erectile Dysfunction. And I wanted to do features. So I moved to California in 2010, and I started working on other people's projects. And then this is my first project that I've done, my first feature project that I produced, wrote, and directed. And I like features. I like features. I like fantasy. I like stories. So and being a journalist might be a story you're writing, but it's fact, right? It's fact. So fiction is more fun. Although there are some stories that are news stories that could be, there's so much news today and so much content that it could easily be changed into a feature, but it's fact. So it's fact versus fiction. I prefer fiction, writing better fiction.
What do you like about the producing side of things?
I like the producing side of things because you can decide on your budget. You have control of the situation. If you're a work for hire director, you have to adhere to the rules and regs of the production company. Say, look, this is your budget. This is what you can and cannot do. We're not going to go off to expensive locations. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. If you're producing, you already know that, so you work with that. So I think it kind of flows together, producing and directing, because you're working with what you already know you have. That makes sense.
Do you have any plans to make other films in future, and if so, what would they look like?
So Holistay 2 and Holistay 3. Holistay is a trilogy. And I'm working on a pilot movie. Commercial airline pilots from Ireland who get stuck at LAX airport during a baggage handler strike. That was a movie I was working on. It was funded fell out during the COVID time. So I'd like to resurrect that and get that back on track. That was a comedy drama, not horror. So those 3 projects I will be working on.
Where can people watch Holistay?
They can watch Holistay tomorrow on Amazon Prime Video and all VOD streaming platforms.
Where can people follow you?
Social media, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And I'm on IMDb. You can reach me through there, through my agent there, or you can reach me direct through social media. I like to talk to everybody.
I would like to thank Mary for the interview. People watching can like, comment, share, subscribe and whatever else people do to videos if you're watching in the future.